The UN Atomic Energy Chief Yukiya Amano has told a nuclear safety forum stricter standards and full transparency are vital to restoring public confidence in nuclear energy after Japan's Fukushima crisis. Japan has been struggling for more than 3 weeks to stabilise a nuclear plant hit by a massive earthquake and tsunami. For the latest, we were joined a short time ago from Tokyo by our North Asia correspondent Mark Willacy. Mark, weeks down the track, how are authorities coping with this stricken reactor?
Well, put it simply, they're struggling. We've had a system where the cooling system is down. That's the major problem here. So that means thousands of tonnes of water is having to be splashed over these fuel rods inside the reactors every day. That's meaning that there's a lot of runoff, and it's radioactive water that's being produced here. So that's a major problem. The cooling system has to come up at some stage. We understand that power was reconnected to the cooling systems, but because of this pooling of water around the reactor, around the plant, that's not going to happen. And we've heard from the government overnight that it's going to take months for that cooling system to come back online, and that means that we are going to have to dump thousands of tonnes of water over these fuel rods every day until that cooling system's back online. And
already there are reports of radioactive leaks into the ocean. How serious is that?
It's extremely serious. What we have is a 20-centimetre long crack inside a concrete pit near Reactor 2. Now that's letting out 7,000 tonnes of radioactive water every hour. And this is quite highly radioactive water. This isn't low-level radiation. Now, what they've tried to do is to try and plug that crack. They've tried to put concrete in it, but the force of the water has just blown the concrete out. The crack's still there. Then they tried something even more ingenious, they thought, and that was mixing sawdust with shredded newspaper and what's called an absorbent polymer. This polymer apparently can absorb water 50 times its size. But unfortunately, that didn't work either. That was simply blown out by the force of the water. So there's still this 20-centimetre crack in this concrete trench, this pit, and that is leaching thousands of tonnes of water, radioactive water, into the Pacific every hour.
But there are also reports, not just, I guess, of leaks and leaching, but also that the authorities, the operators, may have to actually dump contaminated water.
Well, I can tell you that started a short time ago. There's going to be an 11,500 tonnes of what's being called low-level radioactive water dumped into the Pacific. Now, the reason this has to be done, according to TEPCO, the company that operates the plant, and the government here in Tokyo, is because this water is just building up around the plant. As I said, 11,500 tonnes of it, it's not going anywhere. It has to be moved out of the way so that really contaminated and toxic radioactive water can be stored safely at the plant and not run off into the ocean. So that dumping process has started tonight. That will continue on. Now, TEPCO, the operator, and the government are assuring the Japanese public that there is nothing to fear from this water. They're saying it's low level, and you could actually eat seafood that was caught in this water every day for a year, and apparently you'd only have a quarter of your annual environmental radiation exposure. So in other words, the government and TEPCO are saying, please do not panic. This is low-level radioactive water. We have to do this so that the highly contaminated water doesn't leach outside the plant.
I wonder, though, how many will be prepared to take that risk. Mark Willacy, many thanks.
Thank you.